Welcome back to our Regretful Parents series on YouTube. In this series, we dive into the wild, messy, and sometimes heartbreaking posts from parents who regret the gig. It's not about parent bashing, it's just a reality check before you sign a lifetime contract. I am Erika.
Yeah, I'm Kristen.
And today we are taking a look at yet another deleted post from Reddit. From the Regretful Parents sub. So guys, parents, if you're watching this, just know we're very fast.
Erika's scouring your posts and screenshotting them.
We are screenshotting them with fervor. You can delete it, but it will not be scrubbed from our minds. The headline for this post was, "My son is my punishment from God." Initial reactions to this?
Ooh, this one's going to be fun. We don't usually get one like this, so I'm excited.
This is spicy. This is very spicy. They started out the post by saying, "My first post here. Here I am crying again because of my son. I'm too exhausted to elaborate and give examples of the 100 ways that he is breaking my heart. I just feel like with all the sins I have committed in my life, God punished me by giving me a son like this. He is my punishment from God."
Ooh. I almost don't even know if we should react. I kind of want to see what the comments are. What are the comments?
Okay.
I kind of want to see what other people say first, and then I can react more, you know?
Well, I'll first say I was browsing this because I know I sent you this post last night because I was like, holy shit, we have to talk about this. I was looking at some of the comments yesterday. I don't know if they'll still be visible, but I know she has at least one other daughter who is not a punishment from God.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, because there's not a lot of like detail in this, which makes it hard to like, react
dive
to.
in. But like, what an interesting idea to think that God would punish you with a child.
With a bad child, or reward you in the case of her daughter, right? Like she has an example of like a kid who she considers to be a good kid that she got, but her son is her bad
karma. It's horrifying.
No, I'm obsessed with this idea that, I mean, as a non-believer in God, like, in a traditional sense, like I'm agnostic, but as a non-believer in God, like I find it out of control that people are having children and genuinely believe that their children are a reflection of their sins, like in the traditional Bible sense. That blows my mind.
Right. I mean, I have heard parents say like, "Oh, God gave me this child to teach me something, or gave me this as like a trial," but to say this is my punishment? That says a lot about your view of God too.
Elaborate. What does that mean?
That you think that God is like a punishing God who's going to send a literal human life. Like, this is a person, I think this person is like forgetting this is a human being with their own autonomy and their own feelings, and you're completely removing their autonomy and their existence and making them solely about yourself. It's like a little bit, A, it's a little narcissist, and then B, it's a little bit dehumanizing, I guess.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. And I was thinking the same thing as you were talking, that like, yeah, she's being a narcissist. Her human living child is only there as a reflection of her, not
of her problems,
their own selves. Yeah.
There's also, and again, we don't know why they wrote this,
right?
But there's no reflection as to like, is the child this way because of your actions? Like, do you have accountability into why this child behaves the way that they behave? Or are they literally just filled with demons that you must exercise?
I mean, I think it's really interesting that we have a data point that she has one child that she considers good. So it is that question of nature versus nurture here. What did it? And she seems to think it is purely based on nature. nature
Yeah.
of her own sins.
Yeah. First, most upvoted comment: sorry to hear about your struggle. Try to stay strong and take some time for yourself if possible. Try not to attribute a religious element to your son. It may be easier to endure this rough time if he isn't seen as spiritual punishment. I think it's plenty punishing as a natural phenomenon alone. I hope you feel better
Yeah.
and keep us updated. I can't imagine how viewing your child that way would then cause you to treat them, like
Totally.
you don't treat something that is like punishment with love.
No, I mean it's really dangerous to consider a
To think that
child
way.
kind of like it's almost like dehumanizing them and making them an inanimate object, right? It's like if you
Mm-hmm.
believe that this thing is placed here to torture you. I mean, it kind of brings me back to what we did an episode on our podcast, the Dinky Pod, in case anybody's interested, about Ruby Frankie. And Ruby
Mm.
Frankie, who is a convicted child abuser. She had a bunch of children and she started associating her children with like demons, right? She like basically kidnapped two of her kids and like put them into a house in the middle of the desert and more or less tortured them. And
Mm-hmm.
she was writing in her journals like this kid is not my kid. Like basically it's a demon. So you start to like prescribe like unrealistic associations that this is not a human child, this is a demon. So I think this is a super slippery slope for somebody who actually believes that this is not their kid anymore. It is a punishment. Mm-hmm.
Then there are some pretty funny responses from folks who are discrediting the religious aspect of things. One person says, looking at the world and in the US in particular, I don't get the impression that God punishes the sinful. The next person responded to that and said, if anything, the sinful appear to be rewarded.
The sinful appear to be rewarded. Is this like thinking about in the context of like politics?
Probably. Yeah. Or like, Elon Musk.
Right.
But then
Okay.
again, it's like, what's your perception of a reward?
Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. Can you like look at her username and see her post history?
I can try. I also was going to say there was a response where she does clarify that the boy is 10.
Mm-hmm.
And she did also respond to someone and say, yes, the younger daughter is an angel, almost the opposite of her brother, the 10-year-old. Sometimes she just sheds tears when she gets bullied by the older brother. Thank you for the little hope. I can only hope my kid will change, because if he doesn't, I'm almost certain he's going to be a useless nobody.
Oh my God. Well, again, we're not here to judge. We're not here to judge. She's in a time of dire straits coming to the internet to vent.
Yeah.
But it is interesting context that we have confirmed that the boy's 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's old enough to be their own little individual.
Okay, I'm trying to look at her history. Her history is really interesting.
Hmm.
I'm going to read you a couple headlines. Under the lonely subreddit, I feel lonely very often. Is this my fate?
Ooh.
That was 4 months ago. And then she also posted in the anxiety sub, feeling lonely, anxiety, and scared. Then there are a couple that are like about her being an ENFJ personality type. Let's read this post. So she had written, I'm an ENFJ. I have a loving husband, family, kids, friends. However, due to what I can only assume as past trauma, I fear loneliness. I am also easily lonely. The best part is I have many good friends, close friends, caring friends, but it is never enough. I would derive
Ugh.
my self-worth from my friendship experience on that particular day. It doesn't matter that I have a nice family outing with my friends together happily yesterday. I feel lonely today with no friends to hang out with or chat with or interact with, and there goes my self-worth. And the fact that I have a loving husband, family, kids doesn't help with that self-worth / loneliness at all. It is very exhausting to always try to make plans with friends to avoid my fear of loneliness. And to top it off, even though I have enough friends and they always comment that I am positive and friendly and outgoing, actually the inner me is just a little bit scared of being rejected due to weight situation. Man, parents
She's
are
got a lot
really
going
dealing with
on.
a lot of weight trauma. And
Mm.
she said, is this ENFJ specific or is it me being too screwed up? I think it's the latter, but I just want to confirm. I regularly hang out with my family. I do not abandon them to hang out with friends. It's more like I build quite some friendship that would include my family and kids when hanging out. I mean, it's interesting to read that and think about the trauma that she's probably inflicting on her child from the devil.
I know. Yeah, it's interesting because based on her other posts, I didn't infer that she was religious in any sense, right?
Yeah.
Nothing about it reads as religious, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, like she jumped to an extreme. I mean, we don't know her. She only posts a
Yeah, we
few
don't know
posts on the
her.
internet, but to me it reads depression. Like there's some kind of psychological thing going on there, and I'm glad she's reaching out and posting about it. I think that's good to seek feedback on the internet, but I really hope to God she has a therapist.
Yeah, I don't love when people post this kind of stuff on the internet. I'm like, talk to a licensed therapist. There are a lot of
Oh,
crazy people
sure.
on the internet. Look at us.
No, I mean 100%, but in most cases, I think people take their first step as like small steps like this.
Yeah. There was one comment that she posted. Somebody had written, what's something people romanticize but is actually horrible? And she said, having a kid.
Ooh, dun dun dun. Which is interesting too, because she even admits that like her one kid
That
is
she
like
has a good
amazing.
kid.
But again, one bad kid can like fuck
I
up the
know,
whole
ruin your
dynamic
life.
for everyone.
Yeah, totally. Another person wrote, I mean, several people wrote things like this. There is no God. There is no meaning to the universe. Your best chance at peace is to not give a fuck and just enjoy the ride. Unfortunately, it is easier said than done. Good luck.
The problem with religion is that people who are experiencing deep feelings of pain, loneliness, suffering, especially when they feel like, oh my God, my kid is only 10 and I have like the rest of my life to go, they turn to a higher being to make sense of things. So
Yeah.
that's why so many people become religious in the first place, is they've had dark
Yeah.
times. And that's a bummer.
I was waiting for this to be like some kind of epiphany.
I'm sad I get medicated and go to therapy. But to each their own.
Well, listeners, tell us in the comments. Do you think a child could be a curse from God? We want to hear from you. If you like this episode, remember to like
You know
and
what?
subscribe.
That's exactly
What?
why me and you aren't having kids, because we have sinned too much. Could you
Oh my
imagine
gosh.
the punishment we would receive?
Yeah.
Speaking of demons.
Yeah. And my child wouldn't even wait for a C-section. They would just like alien.
No. Mine would definitely be the definition of Beelzebub. Is that his name? Beelzebub. My kid.
You love Beelzebub. Well, we've got more coming in the Regretful Parents series, so make sure you subscribe. And if you want more, you guys, we got an entire podcast about being child-free by choice. And yes, we are child-free by choice. We don't have children.
Thank you. I was about to say that too.
I know. I can't believe people comment asking that. But you can listen to it here or wherever you find podcasts just by searching Dinky. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at DinkyPod. And if you're looking to make new friends, we have a great opportunity for you.
Wow.
Trips, group trips with other child-free travelers. They're
and
a
community on Discord.
Community on Discord.
If you want child-free community, we got you covered. Go to patreon.com/dinkypod.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Dink Squad.
Don't get pregnant.